Hi, my name is Morgan Ulrich, and I completed my emergent curriculum project in the Chicks classroom with infants aged 8 to 14 months, guided by my amazing mentor, Kimberly Dunlap. Over the semester, I planned and implemented 2 developmentally appropriate activities, sensory adventure and rolling paint discovery. These activities were both inspired by what I observed the children doing in our classroom, especially their love for textures, movement, and exploring with their whole bodies. The meaning behind these activities came from moments of play and curiosity. I noticed how engaged the infants were when they touched different materials, splashed water, or rolled toys back and forth. They were fascinated by cause and effect, by how objects felt and moved. I wanted to create experiences that encouraged that curiosity while supporting their physical, sensory, and cognitive development. My first activity, sensory adventure, included multiple bins filled with different textures and materials, water, feathers, textured fabrics, and natural objects. I originally thought I'd set all 4 bins out at once, but I quickly realized that too many choices at once made it harder for infants to stay focused. I adapted by offering 2 bins at a time, which led to much deeper engagement. The water bin was a big favorite. The kids loved splashing the water and squeezing the sponges. One child was especially drawn to the feather bin, spending a long time feeling the soft textures and looking closely at the bright colors. This activity supported DRDP goals like curiosity and initiative, cause and effect, as infants experimented with splashing and watching water drip. It also aligned with identity of self in relation to others, as infants shared space, watched each other, and showed their preferences. In terms of anti-bias education, this activity promoted identity and diversity by giving infants space to explore materials in their own ways. Each child interacted differently, some were loud and active, others quiet and focused. By respecting their individual styles and personalities, I made it a safe space for everyone. One of the teaching strategies I used during this activity was encouraging open-ended play. Rather than directing the children, I gave them the freedom to interact with the bins however they chose. This strategy was really effective. It encouraged exploration and creativity, and it helped the infants feel confident and independent. Looking back, I think I could have incorporated an academic concept like hiding letters or simple shapes in the fabric or water for them to discover. For my second activity, rolling paint discovery, I wanted to expand on the children's interest in movement and sensory exploration, so I introduced art. I used trays of infant-safe paint paired with rolling tools like textured balls and small paint rollers. I had 3 children join this activity, and while I planned for lots of colorful painting, I quickly learned that at this age, most exploration starts with the mouth. Much of the session was spent gently redirecting children from tasting the paint, though that itself was part of the sensory process. Despite the redirection, the children stayed curious. They dipped tools into the paint, made lines and smudges, and occasionally used their fingers. They were definitely exploring in their own way. This activity connected to DRDP measures like gross locomotor movement, visual art, and cause and effect, as they noticed what happened when they rolled a tool or pressed their hands to the paper. One teaching strategy I used here was modeling. I demonstrated how to dip a tool in the paint and roll it on the paper. While they didn't always imitate my exact motions, they were clearly watching and thinking, which is a step toward deeper engagement. Next time, I might enhance the sensory aspect even more by adding textures to the paint or using textured paper. That could provide even more sensory interest and potentially reduce the desire to taste everything. Looking across both activities, I noticed a huge improvement in my ability to adapt and stay flexible. In my first activity, I stuck close to my plan and felt a little unsure when things didn't go exactly how I expected. In the second activity, I felt more confident letting go of the plan and following the children's lead. I stayed calm, present, and more responsive, which made the whole experience smoother and more enjoyable for everyone. These activities taught me 2 really important lessons about curriculum planning. First, that developmentally appropriate practice doesn't mean perfection. It means providing the opportunity and trusting children to engage in their own way. And second, that flexibility is essential, especially with infants. Things don't always go the way you plan, and that's okay. What matters is being responsive to the children's needs in that moment. This experience confirmed for me that early childhood education is absolutely the right path for me. I love watching infants explore, learn, and grow, and being a part of that process is incredibly meaningful. Their curiosity and their joy in the little things remind me why this work matters. I've learned to be more observant, more intentional, and more responsive, and I'll carry all those skills into my future work as an early childhood educator. Thank you for watching.